have from the Daniels. Where we see Moonfall right down there. Start with this one to fill it up. And we'll keep going over to here. Okay. Now, to the several ticket stubs. These are just a few. The several ticket stubs that I have acquired from seeing the 4 or 5, probably the 5 or so, movies I've seen so far this year. First movie I saw of 2022. How fitting and how wonderful for me to start with. Moonfall, you can see right there. From Roland Emmerich. Yes, not a great movie. I know it's stupid fun. I'm sure I will get the Blu-ray at some point and watch it. I'm sure I'll get the Blu-ray at some point to kind of add it to my very, very small collection of Roland Emmerich movies that's so far just at Independence Day. Roland Emmerich, the master of disaster, as he's been called, making all the disaster movies with Independence Day. 2012, obviously, Day After Tomorrow. I don't think 10,000 BC is a disaster movie per se, but that just goes back in time. Stargate is another one from him. He made Godzilla in 1998, which I enjoyed watching as a kid. I'm kind of nostalgic for it. I'd like to watch that once again. So I'm kind of a Roland Emmerich fan. First saw the poster that was in one of the halls of my theater at AMC. Poster looks really cool with the moon there, hole, like a passed out hole, and then some technology stuff that's kind of poking out of that hole. Astronauts at the bottom of it has Roland Emmerich's name across it. First saw that poster. That was really cool. Was really interested, really into it. The trailer, watched the trailers in the theater. Oh gosh.
If you're watching this, then you know by now a huge problem is heading our way. An emergency meeting is being called at our usual place immediately. 3 bagels.
I was very, very nervous.
It's too late to stop.
You knew all this was happening before NASA.
You're the unidentified source?
Oh, yes.
The first, like, 2/3 of it was stupid, dumb fun. Then the third act just flushed the whole movie down the drain. It kind of ruined any coolness, any kind of imagination that could have been had with that movie. And it was just a massive letdown to me at the end. I felt super cheated on, and like Roland Emmerich just wanted to roll out money and do fun stuff and crazy stuff with the end of the movie. So, I mean, I could put the stub anywhere else on the board, but I'll just fill up. I'm sorry, filling up this last space of my bad and disliked movie row here, if I can stick that right there. All right, Moonfall, first movie of 2022. Off to a great start, right? I think this one was next. I'll go ahead and go for... Saw this movie twice. We have The Batman from Matt Reeves. Super cool movie. Just phenomenal filmmaking, phenomenal direction, phenomenal casting, phenomenal technical work. Like, I would say like a solid 8.5 or so. I've had conversations with a couple of other people who had like problems with the script, who had problems with how complicated the script kind of gets, especially with the Riddler, and that he's not humanized super well or anything like that. A long movie, definitely a long movie. My first viewing definitely felt like a very long movie, like over 3 hours long. It's only 2:58, I think it is. 2 hours, 58 minutes. Felt like 3.5 hours long or so, first viewing. But went into it a second time. Actually, I'll go ahead and paste up that stub. Batman, first saw it in IMAX. So there's the Batman for IMAX. And then I saw it again in Dolby Digital Surround Sound. Did I tape this one? I did not tape this one. One sec. All right, there's the tape. All right, and we have Batman, Dolby Digital Cinema. Can you see the any AMC stuff on here? Well, you can see my name at the bottom and then ID on the side. I am an AMC Stubs member, and I get like my tickets through the digital AMC Stubs app on my phone, and then that prints out on the ticket that I print out from the kiosk. More to that story later. So ID is like going to be all over most of these tickets so that they can check my ID to make sure that I'm not stealing tickets from someone else and that whole deal, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Batman. Dolby Digital Surround Sound. Second time that I saw it. Amazing sounds. Great sound in the theater. Enjoy the movie a little bit more, much more, a little bit more on the second try, on the second viewing. just soaking up all the different filmmaking, soaking up all the great shots going on in the movie, and anticipating sitting in for kind of a longer movie, longer than what I'm definitely generally used to with sitting through like a 2-hour, 2.5-hour movie. I think it's just like a long second act with the Riddler's complicated schemes and the complicated riddles, sending the characters like Batman and Gordon and Catwoman and all those different characters spiraling around trying to solve different things and solve different sophisticated things happening in their personal lives. But yeah, the Batman, super, super dense. Lots of different things happening. I love all the technical work, love the casting, great directing, Robert Pattinson. Fantastic as both roles, brought something very different, very dark, and very like year one starting out with the Batman with Bruce Wayne. Andy Serkis as Alfred, fantastic. Come on, Penguin, I know this. Colin Farrell, yes, Colin Farrell. Oh yeah, no explanation needed. Fantastic, fully hidden in all the amazing, amazing prosthetics. Yeah, my 2 viewings of the Batman right there. Very much worth it. So excited to see the Blu-ray and excited to have seen it in the theater a couple of times. Super, super fun. I may have skipped one. I think I skipped one. Whatever. Here we go. Death on the Nile. The second movie from Kenneth Branagh that comes after Murder on the Orient Express that he made in, what was it, 2016, 2017 or so? Some years ago. Death on the Nile with Gal Gadot in that. Fun movie. Enjoyable movie. Went to see that with my mom. Big Agatha Christie fan, has read all the Agatha Christie stuff herself, and knew about this plot, knew about everything going in, and then she knew who was up to whatever, and whatever is going on murder-wise, who's suspected, who's actually guilty and all that kind of stuff, and held that back from me, who hasn't seen any of that stuff, so everything unfolded. She really liked it. A couple of things that she said were changed, and a couple of details that were changed, some characters combined, otherwise pretty spot on, pretty accurate with the book. I enjoyed it. Really great filmmaking, really great shots on, like, Egypt and Egyptian life, and on the Nile, those settings where the characters are and where the whole story takes place, where the boat takes place. Really great shots and coverage of the whole boat, and just great filmmaking and cinematography and lighting wise. Some really interesting and cool cinematography, camera moves around the ship, and as dramatic things are happening, some really great dramatic lighting, some really great production design, a lot of great technical work, some decent acting through and through. I mean, I can't really nitpick anything seriously out of whack or seriously problematic with the movie. But yeah, Death on the Nile, right over here. Very enjoyable movie. Okay, now to the movie that I saw the trailer for quite a few times. I haven't seen the previous 3 movies. Not really my cup of tea. But I researched the movie a little bit. I watched some kind of casual YouTube videos about each of the cast members, if you will, and stunt people on this, if you will. I'm glad no one was killed. I'm semi-glad it was just a lot of injuries, very expensive and insurance-driven injuries in this movie. Went ahead and checked it out just out of curiosity, see what would happen. I had a lot of fun, actually, with Jackass Forever. Did not expect to see this movie, and I definitely did not expect to enjoy it as much as I did, and I did. It is stupid, stupid fun. Yeah, this was given 4 out of 4 stars on RogerEbert.com. You can check that out for yourself. RogerEbert.com. Look up Jackass Forever. 4 out of 4 stars. Basically talking about that movies should be properly ranked and criticized based on what the movie is trying to do. If it's trying to be like funny, or dark or dramatic, or tell this kind of story, or portray this kind of story in this different way, like how successfully does the movie do those kind of things. And obviously with the Jackass movies, its purpose is super, super simple, and dead simple, and just like one single mission: to be ridiculous and idiotic, idiotic, but not like too over the top or too stupidly ridiculous. Just be entertaining and show all the different skits going on. And that's what this movie does. That's what this 4th installment does. A lot of crazy and ridiculous skits throughout the movie. Lots and lots of injuries that happen in the movie. Stupid, funny skits. Moving on now. Okay. Then we have The Outfit. This was a movie that I saw the poster for, similar to Moonfall. I just kept seeing the poster in the hallway of my theater. The poster looks really cool and nice and old-fashioned and film noir-y, kind of like those older, 1930s, 1940s noir poster from like Hitchcock or Chinatown or something like that, with the color scheme and look kind of hand-drawn. I love the big cutter the scissors that are right in the middle of that poster there with the figure on top. I like how old-fashioned the poster is and the great design on that, but I did not see a single trailer for any of the movies I went to see in the theater. Not a single trailer came up for that movie. I'm not really sure why. So I sought out the trailer on YouTube, and that definitely really grabbed me to see kind of the mobster activities going on in the Taylor shop. Mark Rylance, the main character, the main actor in the movie, the mobsters kind of passing through doing their business, and Mark Rylance's character Leonard kind of getting caught up in all their stuff and trying to survive as a business person, trying to survive personally himself. Oh my goodness. If you haven't seen this movie, if you haven't even heard of the outfits, please go see this. I don't know if the marketing team wasn't really doing anything for this movie, or if the marketing portion of the budget wasn't really there, or if it was very limited. But I saw next to no marketing for this movie, which is very sad, because this is an excellent, excellent movie. This is Hitchcockian through and through. Mark Rylance is like perfect for the role. BFG, Dunkirk, Ready Player One, that he's also from. Perfect role for him. Really great role for him. Very meticulous and intentional and gentle, thoughtful and careful cutter, as he explains he is. I think he says he's a cutter. He says like a tailor is someone who just like stitches clothes. He says a tailor is a very like simplified version of his position, whereas a cutter takes like 15 years or so of experience, and that's actually what he does. He's a tailor at his shop that also kind of works for the mob, or works exclusively for the mob, I believe, the Irish mob. And then some mobsters get all mixed up in his shop. Some messages in this box get all mixed up. A sensitive item from the mobsters gets all mixed up and goes missing, and a couple of mobsters like meet at gunpoint and they interrogate each other. One goes down, and it's a matter of covering that up, trying to cover up these details. This guy has to go out and do these things where we have to keep details in secret, and some other mobsters come in. And it's just a turning and a turning and a tightening and a tightening of the screw of the suspense and the thrills, and people caught in cold blood with different people with blood on their hands, and trying to keep things secret and trying to make up new information to keep themselves out of trouble and to actually survive. Just so much great like Hitchcockian thrills and Hitchcockian suspense going on in the movie. There's a bomb that is planted. If you know about Hitchcock's whole bomb analogy, there's a bomb that's planted that's not a huge explosion at first. It doesn't seem like a huge danger at first, and it just grows and grows and grows and billows into this worse and worse thing. If this thing explodes, then it's just game over for everybody. And Mark Rylance's character Leonard is just orchestrating things in his head, kind of collecting things in his head. He is more or less a passive and semi-active character, as he's like getting to know the mobsters and trying to play his part very, very carefully in the whole mobster takeover and mix-up that's happening, and tries to protect Mabel, his associate, from things that are happening. Just, oh my gosh, this movie needs more, and needs more of you guys out there. If you have not seen this movie, I cannot recommend it more enough. Grant Moore directed this, who is the Academy Award-winning writer for The Imitation Game. Just really brings some great A+ directing and really great A+ work into this movie. If you haven't seen the outfit, again, as I reiterate this for like the third or fourth time, Mark Rylance, fantastic cast through and through. Zoe Deutsch is in this as well. Really great, fantastic work from her. Great writing, very, very effective direction, very, very effective just blocking of everything and acting and everybody working together to just make the thrills and suspense work so well, and things slipping under the table and just all these suspicions and suspense and unnervingness going on throughout the movie. It's a one location type of movie, staying into the one location of Leonard's tailor shop. Stays in there as people kind of rotate and move in and out of the tailor shop, and different details are picked up at different times. And one guy maybe comes in and says, "Hey, you said that such and such would be out there. I did not see him anywhere out there. So where is he? What's actually going on?" They're actually trying to talk. They're just trying to talk their way through this whole crazy survival game where the bomb might go off at any time. Just go watch the movie, and we can leave it at that. Go check out the outfit any chance that you can get. And finally, the latest movie that I have seen, just yesterday I think it was, from the Daniels. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. They had previously directed the Swiss Army Man in 2016 with Daniel Radcliffe and Paul Dano, and kind of a small cameo role for Emily Elizabeth Winstead, the a cappella movie with some fun themes in there and some fun Bali function themes in there. Super funny, really great movie, phenomenal movie, one of my most favorite movies of 2016, and really one of my most favorite movies of all time in my top 10 list or so. Kind of a quick story I can try to go into here. I remember the day I was going to see Spider-Man No Way Home, I was just kind of randomly thinking about Swiss Army Man, how much I love that movie, and I'm going to stick this up before this sticks to my fingers and the tape goes out. Here we go. Doo-doo. There we go. I have my Swiss Army Man. Oh, right there. On the same board. Perfect. Absolutely. Same column, just straight down. Just kind of look straight down. I'm going to see Spider-Man. I was seeing Spider-Man No Way Home last December. Randomly thinking about Swiss Army Man, how much I love that movie. Thinking about the Daniel Sheinert and Daniel Kwan. Directed the previous movie, how much I love those directors, how much I wish that they would keep making more movies. It's been like 7 years or so. Hopefully they've been making more movies. I go in to see the movie, the great trailers come up, and then I see the trailer that looks all quirky and goofy, A24. All right, let's see what's going on. Quirky and goofy trailer from the Daniels. All right, here we go. Kind of an answer to my prayer. Here we go. What are the Daniels up to now? And showing Michelle Yeoh in her laundromat shop, as it turns out. I'm trying not to say a whole lot to keep this as spoiler-free and as vague as possible, and I've yet to do kind of a spoiler-free review of sorts for this movie because of how much I just love this movie. Showing all the different weird stuff that's going on in her life and the obstacles that she is facing and how she somehow, like, spontaneously or semi-spontaneously breaks into the multiverse realm, and there's another guy who is trying to get her involved into the multiverse, and all the different crazy things that she has to do to tap into the multiverse, and all the different crazy roles that she has to play in the multiverse, and this universe, and her own universe to keep her own life straight and try to work with this other guy who needs her to work through the multiverse. Just a crazily, like, directed and put together and crazily edited type of trailer. Then the title comes up, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I knew right away that's another movie to put onto my already very long list of most anticipated movies of 2022 from the Daniels of all people. Couldn't be more excited. Went into the movie, and from scene 1, shot 1, through like shot 2 and shot 3 of scene 1, lots and lots of details, lots and lots of different things going on. I could easily pick out different kinds of references to multiverses or different references to like parallel realities and multiple different things going on. Michelle Yeoh's character is like very busy, lots of different things going on. She's trying to accomplish a few things like in her life fun-wise and in her business-wise and personal relationships-wise, just trying to accomplish so many different things at once, trying to do so many different things at once. The movie does that great job of making everything and everywhere look like there's a lot of different things happening all at once. Like the title permeates into pretty much everything into this movie. And then her character slowly starts to break into the multiverse realm, and the other character keeps talking to her and consulting her about, you need to do these kinds of works in the multi-universe realm before my realm gets messed up, and all those crazy multiverse universe concepts that have been explored in all those other movies, like Spider-Man No Way Home and all the Doctor Strange movies. Multiverse realms, my realm is in trouble, you need to help me, even though your reality needs fixing by you personally right now. Wow. Crazy and dense, and I think the Daniels probably had the most amount of fun on this movie than they've had with any other project before them, even though I think Swiss Army Man gave them a lot of great fun they had with that movie. But just so much dense and so much crazy stuff going on in this movie. Tip my hat, and God bless to the editor of this movie, Paul Rogers. I don't know what other work he has done, but just the amount of crazy editing and crazy stuff going on. There are quite a few sequences where it's like rapid cutting, all these rapid cutting, and all these rapid cuts happening all around Michelle Yeoh all at once, kind of illustrating all the different universes and all the multiverses happening around her all at once. And the different parallel timelines going around her all at once. Just a crazy technical achievement and a lot of crazy things happening just throughout. But also just really wonderful, emotional, and really wonderful work happening in the screenplay to flesh out all the characters and to flesh out the different conflicts happening with the characters and how much they are all trying to manage all at once. And Michelle Yeoh her character trying to reconnect with different people in her life. Just another movie. Fortunately and thankfully, another movie that came out this year that is very highly recommended. If you haven't seen it, if you love independent movies in any way, if you love A24 movies in any way, if you've seen Swiss Army Man before, if you know about these two directors, the Daniels, in any way, go see this movie. It's just incredible. It may or may not be for everybody. If you have a certain taste, if you don't like so many different crazy things happening at once, if you like your movie to be a little bit more grounded and not like super random in different places, even though there are sort of multiverse weird explanations for the weird different things happening in the movie, you may or may not have that much of a great time, but I think still, like, objectively, just super well executed. These guys are exactly what Hollywood needs to spice themselves up, be much more wholly original. and to have more fun with the movies, and to make a much better exploration of the human condition. That's not just a cash grab, but like I said, a much better exploration of the human condition, much better exploration of reconnecting with people, and just oozing with so much great substance, and oozing with just so much great and fantastic work. Really love this. Definitely one of my favorite movies of the year so far. All right, here's that board. And here's now this finished board with, I can literally see Moonfall right down there. One finished board and the next board to work on. All right, so those are the ticket stubs. I'm just kind of filling up the frame, doing some fun framing stuff with the boards. So those are my ticket stubs that I've acquired so far over this year, early this year, January through March, well, early April now at this point. So this is a collectors, film buff collectors tradition that I've actually had over the past few years or so, as like kind of looking around. I've held on to tickets since 2012, this one is, for Hobbit, The Unexpected Journey, I think that is. Yeah, there's 2 for The Hobbit, 2012. There's 1 for 2017, that's Blade Runner. 2016. So yeah, I've been collecting ticket stubs and holding on to my ticket stubs for about 10 years now. The first movie ticket stubs that I got, I would hold on to like in an envelope and just stuff everything into the envelope and just get it more and more full. And then it kind of occurred to me that either I can keep stuffing the envelope with more and more ticket stubs and just keep them concealed into the envelope. I started to think about maybe other solutions for keeping those ticket stubs instead of just packed into the envelope. So my next thought was maybe into a binder, taping those stubs onto pieces of paper, slipping the paper into those plastic pocket protectors and keeping them in a binder, which would be nice and neat. But then I thought that doesn't like show them off, and it's just tucked into a bookshelf and is never seen or really known about. And I thought, why don't I just display them? Tack them up onto a board of some sort and put them on my wall as some cool, fun film buff decor, if you will, with the stubs up on the wall. And I started thinking of different ways I could tape up the stubs onto different like poster boards or other like foam boards or anything like that. I thought that like a poster board would be like too nice and smooth and shiny. That was me getting picky about what the board can be made of and the texture and everything like that. And I had a couple of these like black photograph boards, like these thin cardboard boards that like photographers or graphic designers might use to print out their work and, well, glue down onto this kind of board so that it's in front of this black neutral background, so it helps their photos stand out better and makes it look like more professional and more legitimate, if you will, of a photo. So I had a few of these lying around from a graphic design class I took in college, and I had these lying around, and I decided, well, why don't I just stick up my stubs onto this kind of board. I like the kind of the porous, if you can see kind of close up there. I actually kind of like the porous texture, kind of the like touchy, well, you can hear that noise, kind of the touchy porous texture of this cardboard. So I just thought I would stick them onto here, actually make use of the couple of black photo boards that I just had lying around as I reposition this stub for A Quiet Place that's next to Ready Player One. Meticulously sticking on there. So I started sticking my first like 10 or so movie stubs, however many movie ticket stubs I had just in my envelope. So I just started sticking them onto the board. I started to try to actually keep the movie ticket stubs from each of my movie going outing experiences. Actually hold on to those stuff in my pocket so I can actually go home and tape them up and stick them onto my board. And as I demonstrated earlier in this video, it's just taking the ticket stub and then taking about an inch or so of this double stick tape, putting it onto like the top back side of these tickets and stick them up nice and easy, nice and simple, just like that. And then as I just went along, going to more and more movies, able to, and remembering to keep the stubs, not throw them away, not lose them, actually keep them in a nice place, take them home, bring them home, keep them in a nice place, tack them up on my boards, and actually, well, I'll resort to where I started here and just tape them all down as time went on. As I saw more and more movies, just down, and starts making like 8, 9, 10 years or so of memories, and then form my own system of, if I go and see a bad movie, what am I going to do with that ticket stub? Should I throw it away? Maybe we can do something different with it and designate an actual space, in this case a row, to put the ticket stubs for movies I didn't enjoy. Or movies that didn't turn out so good for me. So now on this next board, see a movie I don't like, just put the stubs right there. If this gets filled up, hopefully this doesn't get filled up. I don't see that many bad movies, and there haven't been nearly, well, in my experience, not that many bad movies I have seen. If I go over like 10 bad movie stubs down there, I'll just stack them up above there. So I started getting more creative, more like intentional with where I was putting the ticket stubs. And so yeah, ever since then, that's been my tradition. That's been my thing, to hold on to my ticket stubs and tape them on here as that ongoing memory, as to display here are all the movies I have gone to, and as I see more and more movies, as regularly as I have been seeing more and more movies, and I'll be having these boards tacked up here and displayed here to show off all the movies I have been seeing and to add to the film buffery decoration I have in this office space. So yeah, this is the collecting that I have been doing literally over the past 8, 9, or 10 years or so, and this is the collecting that I will continue to do. Keep building up these fun memories and these ticket stub memories, and I just love having something physical here, kind of show off all these different movies that I've been seeing. There we go. Right up there, right down here. Have yet to fill up this space with maybe another board. I'm sure that all of this space will be filled probably by the end of the year, and then going into this space or so, and then this space probably won't be filled until next year or so. It does take quite a bit of time to fill up these boards for sure. So yep, these are my ticket stub boards, and these are the tickets I've been collecting over the past several years or so, and those are my thoughts on the 5 or so movies I've seen so far this year in 2022. Let me know what movies that you have seen so far this year, your favorite movies, your least favorite movies, the movies that are some of the greatest you've seen this year, and some of the movies that you really don't think should have even been made this year. Comment below, let me know what you've been seeing in the theaters, and if you will start maybe holding on to some of these ticket stubs from your movie seeing experience. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you are enjoying the movies that are coming out so far this year, and you have some anticipated movies coming up in the next month or so. I definitely have a handful of movies, most anticipated movies, coming up this month, so lots more fun to have with that, and lots more ticket stubs to get from that. So thanks again for watching. Have a great year. Have a great movie going experience watching year, and watch more of those great movies and learn from them and try to make something of your own.